Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the Psukim of Bitachon, and today's verse is Tehillim 61, verse 4, Ki hayisa machseli, you have been a refuge for me, Migdal oiz, you have been a tower of strength, Mivnei oyev, in the face of my enemy. And Dovid HaMelech, the way the Rav Hirsch understands here, is telling us once again that I have been through so much in my life. So many difficulties have transpired. So many situations have arisen in my life that have been very hard to cope with, to understand, to process, to overcome. And yet you, Ribono Shel Olam, in my moments of anguish and my moments of weakness, I have come to know you as the source of refuge and spiritual fortitude in the face of all of the human foes, of all the enemies around me. And this is really why HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts us through the nisyonos of life that He does. Because He wants us to recognize Him more and more and more, and see Him and realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that will take care of all of our needs. And sometimes a person gets lax. Sometimes we begin to grow accustomed and distant from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't realize how much He's doing for us. We don't realize how much we actually need Him. We get very successful in our ways. Wake up in the morning, the body works, the health is pretty good. Go off to work, make our money, come home, the family seems to be running itself. The payments are being paid on the house. Everything is great. It could always be better, a person would say. You ask a person, how you doing? Can't complain. Yeah, that means that they really want to complain because they feel that it could be better. However, they're not going to complain because nobody wants to listen to them. But a person begins to think everything is going along just fine. I'm managing, I'm functioning, my life is running, I'm running things myself, the business, the family, the health, all of these things. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sometimes has to come to a person to remind them, listen, Reb Yid, don't forget who's really running the world. Don't forget who's really taking care of your parnasa, of your health, of your family, of your children, of your shalom bayis, of your marriage. Don't forget who is the one that is bringing you the bracha, who brings you the blessing and the goodness and the happy times in life. It's all me, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when a person loses sight of that fact, we get too complacent and comfortable in the inertia of our lives, the spiritual, the physical, the physiological, the psychological worlds that we live in. So then comes along the Ribono Shel Olam, and He has to remind us. And how does He remind us? He reminds us by bringing along the oyev, the enemies, whether they are the human enemies, whether they are the spiritual enemies, whether they are the challenges of life that a person is going to go through. That is not an enemy per se, but rather it is something that causes me to stop and to think and introspect inside of myself and begin to commune once more between my neshama and the Ribono Shel Olam and connect to the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is what Dovid is telling us. When a person sees bad tidings befalling them, when they see the challenges of life piling up and they feel the enemies lurking at all corners, they should know the reason is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rachmana Libav, He wants our hearts, He wants our minds, He wants our souls to be connected to Him. He wants our recognition and our realization that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who is running and taking care of everything. So sometimes He comes and He afflicts. He presses down on us a little bit. He brings a challenge sometimes out of left field that you never imagined or dreamed of in your entire life is going to happen to you. And it's all for one reason and one reason only. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I want you to call upon me and to realize that I am your refuge and I am your tower, Migdal Oiz, your tower of strength. And I will give you the strength to be able to face the challenges and the difficulties and the enemies and the hardships of life, because I am the Ribono Shel Olam. I am yours. Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. You are to your beloved and your beloved is to you. Be sincere and be faithful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu be faithful to us as well. Wishing everybody a day that is filled with Migdal Oiz, with tremendous strength from the Ribono Shel Olam in everything that you do.